Good morning, dear students. In today's lecture, we will discuss about water resources, and under this topic, we'll talk about distribution of water on Earth as well as the effect of over exploitation of water resources. So, let's start our today's lecture. All of us know that water is an important resource of Earth because it is essential for the existence of life. If we talk about human body, it contains near about 65% of water. This water exists naturally in different forms and locations. It exists in the air in the form of water vapors and raindrops, on the surface in the form of uh, liquid as well as snow and ice, below the ground in the form of groundwater, and in the oceans in the form of saline water. The water possesses unique characteristics such as it has very high specific heat, which means that water takes a long time to raise its temperature. So it heats up slowly and also cools down slowly. So its specific heat is high. Water also has high latent heat. This means water takes time to change its form from liquid to vapor, vapor to solid, or liquid to solid. It's a universal solvent. This means that almost most of the things can be dissolved in the water, and water has high surface tension also. All these unique properties of water makes it an important resource. Because of high specific heat characteristic, water can support aquatic life because all the surface water bodies such as ponds, lakes and oceans, in these aquatic ecosystems, large number of animals and plants survive. And because water heats up slowly and slowly, means it does not cause uh, temperature shocks or temperature fluctuations, sharp temperature fluctuations. Because of that, all the aquatic flora and fauna can uh, live in water uh, without any difficulty. If water could have get heated up very frequently, then it would have been very difficult for the animals and plants which are living in the water. It has high latent heat, means it takes time to uh, change from liquid to vapor state, and also from vapor to liquid state, as well as from liquid to solid state, and from solid to liquid state. If the latent heat of water would have been very less or low, then all the glaciers would have been melted down uh, by sudden rise in temperature of earth. So it takes time to change its state. It's a universal solvent because of these characteristics. Most of the salts and gases can be dissolved in water, which are required for the living organisms for their growth and survival. Water has high surface tension, because of which water can rise in the capillaries, and as a result of this, all the plants uptake water from the roots, and through the roots it can reach to the top of any tall tree. So all these unique characteristics of water make this natural resource more valuable to the human beings and all the living organisms. Now, if we talk about the distribution of water on this planet, so we have water in the two form. One is saline water, which is uh, around 97.5% of the total available water on this planet, and near about 2.5% of water is available as fresh water. Saline water has very high concentration of salts in it, The saline water is usually found in ocean and salty lakes, etc. The uses of saline water is for climate moderation and for water transport. It also supports marine biodiversity to a large extent. And saline water is a source of seafood because saline water is present in the ocean, and ocean provides large amount of seafood in the form of fishes and other sea animals. Then we have fresh water, which is already in very less quantity on this planet, and this fresh water is available either in the form of ice in the glaciers and polar regions, which is near about 68.6% of total fresh water. So, near about 70% of fresh water is locked up in the glaciers and polar regions in the form of ice. Then near about 30% of the fresh water is available as groundwater, and only 1.3% of fresh water is available in the form of surface water uh, in the rivers, streams, lakes, uh, springs, etc. So, this was the distribution of water on this planet. So, it can be seen through this slide that we have already very less amount of water, very less amount of fresh water available on this planet. So, for meeting out our demands, uh, mostly we use fresh water. For example, we use fresh water in the uh, houses for cooking our food, for drinking, for bathing, for cleaning our clothes, etc. We use fresh water for irrigation, which is mostly used either from the surface water bodies or from underground water aquifers. So, most of our needs related to water is met with the fresh water, which is already in very less concentration. So, in the near future, uh, the demand for the water will keep on increasing. So, now there is a time to think that if we will keep on exploiting our fresh water uh, with the same pace, then in the near future we will be in short of this fresh water, which is largely required for meeting out our different kinds of purposes. So, we should use our fresh water very wisely so as to make it available to our next generation also. Now, we will talk about the effects of over exploitation of the surface and groundwater. We know that we are extensively using our surface and groundwater, which are a form of fresh water on this planet. So, the over exploitation of this surface and groundwater will result into reduced flow in the streams and rivers, because most of the water will be used up. So, it will result into reduced flow in the streams and the rivers. Then there could be problem of land subsidence. If the groundwater table will go down, then the soil will become dry. As a result of that, it will sink down, and that is known as subsidence of the land or soil. So, the problems of land subsidence is more frequent to the areas where groundwater table is very deep or very low. So, problem of land subsidence will increase in such areas. It will also result into depletion of the groundwater level, because if more and more groundwater will be taken up, and if the recharging of groundwater will not be optimum, then there will be depletion of the groundwater level. Then there will be poor quality of groundwater because if the quantity of groundwater will get reduced, then all the pollutants which are mixed up with the water, their concentration will increase in the groundwater. then it will result into poor quality or degraded quality of groundwater. Then there could be a chances of intrusion of saline water to the groundwater aquifers, because if the groundwater aquifers will dry up, then the areas which lie near to the oceans or near to the seas, means the coastal areas, so there could be high probability that sea water can enter into the groundwater aquifers, and it can thus degrade the quality of groundwater. There could be problem of soil desertification, because if groundwater table will go down, then topmost layer of soil will dry up. As a result of that, desertification process will start in such areas. Then droughts, desertifications can be seen very frequently in the areas where over exploitation of groundwater is carried out. It will also result into low production in the agriculture, because if water will not be available for the irrigation purposes in the agricultural fields, then the productivity of crops will drop down. So these are some of the effects of over exploitation of surface and groundwater. Now our motive is to conserve our water resource, and we can conserve water source through different conservational methods, and we'll discuss some of these methods, that how fresh water can be conserved. The first and the most important way of conservation of the groundwater as well as surface water could be recycle of used water in the houses and industries. We know that we use large quantities of groundwater in our houses as well as in industries. So in the industries and in the houses, we use clean water and we discharge dirty water after using it. So we degrade the quality of that fresh water or clean water. So the wise thing is to recycle this recycle this used water after proper treatment, so that the pressure on our groundwater resources could be decreased down or reduced down. So the recycling of used water in the houses and industries is one of the ways of conservation of water resources. Then there could be wise use of water by avoiding wastage. We see in our day-to-day practices that most of the people who are not aware of the importance of water, they waste water by opening the tap of uh, houses even when they are not in use. So such type of wastage of water should be avoided, and only that much amount of water should be used which is actually required for any purpose. So the wise use of water by avoiding its wastage should also be done. Then the fresh water is largely used in the irrigation purpose. So near about 70% of the groundwater, total groundwater, is used in the agricultural fields for irrigation. So the traditional methods of irrigation in agricultural fields, it consume a large quantity of groundwater. So it should be replaced with the advanced techniques such as drip irrigation, in which the amount of water that is actually required for the crops reduces to a great extent compared to the traditional methods. So adoption of drip irrigation techniques in the agriculture should be promoted. Then there could be harvesting of rainwater, and that rainwater can be used for uh, various purposes. It can also be used in the houses for some activities, for example, flushing the toilets, for example, floor washing, etc., or gardening. Kitchen, in the kitchen garden, these rainwater, harvested rainwater, can be used. Then this rainwater can also be used for recharging the groundwater tables. So capturing the rainwater and using it for different purposes should be promoted. Then construction of ponds and lakes. We know that ponds and lakes are the aquatic bodies which retain water, and they help in recharging of the groundwater aquifers of the areas where they are located. So construction of more and more ponds and lakes will also help in conservation of our water resources. Then promoting afforestations, because trees help in reducing the flow of running water. Then afforestation will definitely help in conservation of water, and controlling the illegal cutting of trees. The deforestation should be completely banned. So these are some of the methods through which we can conserve our water resources. So that was all about today's lecture. In the next lecture, we'll talk about some important conservational methods of water resources in detail. Thank you.